So hello to those of you just joining us. We will be kicking off in just a couple of minutes. Allow people to join the room. Chat function is open, so please do introduce yourselves. Let us know where in the world you're joining us from. We do attract a global audience, so it's always good to know where we're broadcasting to. I'm in a rather unseasonably hot London, 31 degrees today. Belinda's joining us from Joburg. Nikki, great to see you down in Cape Town. Across the pond in New York and Brooklyn. Down in hot, steamy Florida, I would imagine. Yeah, I've heard Cape Town's rather cold at the moment still. A bit of Namibia.
Oh.
Going all over. Deliciously hot Devon. Probably is, especially now most of the tourists are probably left. Okay, so hello and welcome to the latest ATTA webinar. And today we're heading to Kenya to get some fantastic updates from the Hemingways collection. We had wonderful interest for this webinar with nearly 200 people registering. So in all likelihood, we will have a very global audience, as we can see already. Chat function, as I say, is open, so do pop it where in the world you're joining us from today. As always, the webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be available shortly after the live session. There's also the opportunity for Q&A, so if you do have any questions at the end of the presentation, please pop these into the Q&A box, but you can also pop them in at any time. Q&A box is at the bottom of your screen. So presenting today, I'm delighted to be joined by the recently appointed Sales and Marketing Director of the Hemingways Collection, Belinda McIntyre. Belinda has held a number of senior positions for well-known brands across Africa, the Indian Ocean Islands, and the Middle East, focusing on sales, marketing, and PR. So Belinda, wonderful to have you with us today, and over to you for the presentation.
Chris, thank you so much. Very, very warm welcome. I'd say good afternoon, but to the American market, good morning. I know you dialing in pretty early. So thank you all for being here today. I'm very proud to present the Hemingways collection. And I think the timing is absolutely perfect. So a lot of updates, a lot of changes. These literally are going to be sort of communicated to the trade in the next day or two. So if I can say, you're going to hear a few things that are hot off the press, but I promise you that they'll be communicated pretty soon. So let me sort of kick off where we're at. We've got 4 magnificent properties in the collection. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time focusing on Ol Seki because that's where a lot of the changes have happened of late. We've got the 2 properties in Nairobi, including the iconic Hemingways Nairobi, as well as the newer edition, which is Eden. And then I'll touch base on Hemingways Watamu as well. There's quite a lot to cover, so I might move quite quickly. There's a lot of questions that I do want to sort of answer, and then as Chris mentioned at the end, I'll touch base on any questions that arise that I haven't touched on. So kicking off with Hemingways Ol Seki Mara. For those who know the old Ol Seki, this is the new one. You can see just a complete, I want to say a complete rebuild. You'll see beautiful floor to ceiling glass sliding doors. It's completely changed the property entirely, really taking that a gorgeous 5-star. So before I go into a little bit more info, I'm going to show you probably about a 30-second video, and this is really to give you a feel of her location, her new look and feel, and then I'll go into a little bit more detail. So there you have it. It's just a taster, and I think I still get goosebumps every time I see the video, but it really does want you to come back for more. In terms of location, we're in the Naibosha Private Conservancy, which is fantastic. You're on 50,000 acres of private conservancy. And what that means is just the conservancies is teeming with the most magnificent wildlife. In terms of access, you 4 hours plus minus from Nairobi if you had to drive it, but in essence, it's 45 minutes from the Wilson Airport in Nairobi. You land at Ol Seki airstrip and you literally 10 minutes to the camp. So it's a really, really seamless transition. You've got 4 flights a day, so pretty much can get in and out of there quite easily. Maybe just to touch on the conservancy, there are only 7 camps. So again, you've got a really, really exclusive and private feel to it. So I'm going to go to just to give you a feel of the tents. We've got 8 double tents, which are called the Nina tents. The great thing there is you can do either a double or a twin. So you've got both configurations available. And then many of you will know the Simba family tent. We've completely revamped her to now the Simba private villa. There is some great news, and I'll touch on it a little later because we are bringing in a second private villa in 2024 that's going to be called Chewy. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that, and I'll take you through a little bit more of that detail now. I think it's great just to get an idea of the layout of the camp. You'll see 4 Nina tents on the east side, and then you've got 4 Nina tents as well. So you've got both the sunrise and the sunset. And you're on a slightly elevated escarpment on a ridge. So your views from those tents are just absolutely spectacular over the plains. And I don't know if you can see my mouse. I'll just show you there. Simba private villa is over here. You've got the 2 tents with the shared dining room, lounge facility, kitchen, and I'll touch base more on that. And then this is where the new Chewy private villa is going to be built. And literally bookings are kind of open with immediate effect, and we'll take bookings from the 1st of July 2024. If you come down here, you've got the dining room, lounge area, beautiful sunken brass array, swimming pool, and then brand new, again, I think literally opened not even a week or 2 weeks ago, is the spa. And I've got 1 or 2 images off a mobile phone that I'll show you so you can get a feel of what the spa looks like. So that's to give you a feel of the layout. Those are the tents. I think it's gorgeous. It's still kept that very much that Arabian feel to it. The lighting is absolutely beautiful and nice size. The tents are 60 square meters, so really, really nice size. Those are your bedrooms. We've got you've got 270-degree views out into the plains, which is just beautiful. And you've got on the side here, you'll see it's a day bed. So we can take a small child, 8 to 12 years. The minimum age for the Nina tents is 8 years old, but we can put 1 child in the tent sharing. It's slightly bigger than a single bed, so it's a nice size bed as well. And then you've got your private balcony out there. Bathrooms, brand new bathrooms, just really beautifully appointed. You've got indoor, outdoor rain showers. You've got the freestanding tubs. And then here you've got these beautiful sinks that again overlook the plain. So everywhere you are inside the tent, you've just got these great views, so you don't miss out on anything. We've got a restaurant over here, and then just adjacent to the lounge area. So again, dining can either be indoors or outdoors, beautiful fire pits, and then the swimming pool is downstairs. So it really lends itself to being indoors, outdoors, whatever your guests prefer. Beautiful sunken brass array. We've got a few games there. So if you want to go read a book, play a few games, you can just go and really relax and enjoy that. The infinity swimming pool put in 2019. I think it's such a nice touch, especially just coming after a game drive and you just want to relax and be in the swimming pool. So that is available there as well. And then those are the pictures of the new spa. As I say, we've just got 1 or 2 coming through. So just to give you a feel, it's under this beautiful, gorgeous fig tree with just really, really stunning views out there. The property is all inclusive, so you've got your breakfast, lunch, dinners, your afternoon tea. I promise you won't go hungry. I think I fasted for 3 days after I left the property, but it really is stunning. And here you've got your dowers, so and very accommodating to all dietary requirements, whether it's vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever it is. The chef is absolutely superb. So Chef Archie, who's the chef for Hemingway's collection, is now executive chef overlooking all of the F&B throughout. So you'll see a lot of continuity coming through there. And then pretty exciting, so this is the new Simba private villa. As I say, beautiful size. You've got 2 magnificent bedrooms. You've got your shared lounge area. You've got a private balcony. I think here we're looking at about 185 square meters in size. So it really is a great size. You can either sort of be tucked away in your private villa, or you can go around to the main areas. Private villa will take either 4 adults, or we take 2 adults, 3 children. And with that, you have your own private vehicle, you have your own private chef, and obviously your beautiful plunge pool. So it really is your little oasis. In terms of the new villa that's coming on, Shui, very, very much similar look and feel. So not a lot is going to change. It's really just going to be on an opposite location, or the opposite side, should I say, but very, very much in line where the Simba is. And you can just see that it's just absolutely exquisite. So you can dine there, you can really just do stargazing, enjoy the wildlife can come to you as well. So there's a waterhole down there on the left as well. So it really is a magnificent setting. The cave dinner. So the cave dinner comes up quite a lot. We do it for especially honeymooners or anybody who's celebrating a very, very special anniversary. We like to do it as a surprise and delight for clients. So we ask that it's not preferably pre-booked, but we will obviously always try to assist where we can. I think we at certain times we get a lot of honeymooners, which is great, but it's just exquisite. It's right underneath that ridge, and you get an exclusive dinner there under the stars with a storyteller. So really, really magnificent setting. Just in terms of the game drives, we've got 5 vehicles that belong to the camp, and they're 6-seaters. They're all open sides. If guests really do want to go to the main reserve, we can arrange that absolutely. And we also do the hot air ballooning. It's about an hour and a half from the camp. They would leave about 4:30 in the morning, and they can go and do their hot air ballooning. We also do bush breakfasts. We can arrange bush dinners. So a lot of options that do come through there. I may have mentioned earlier, we've just got the most sensational wildlife that has really come into the Conservancy. I think the pride of line is 80, 90 strong. So your sightings are just superb. And that's to give you a feel of really the plains from your tent. So it really is a beautiful setting. I hope I've touched on everything. I think I touched on the minimum age is minimum age of 8 if you're in the Nina tent, and then obviously if you're in the private villa, there's no minimum age, very much because you've got your private vehicle and your private chef exclusively. I'm going to move over to Hemingways Nairobi. Obviously, many of you know her. She's iconic, 10 years old in November, or 10 years young, should I say, and just a fantastic property in the heart of Nairobi. You've almost got those sort of sugar plantation feel to it. You're in the heart of Karen, which is the area. And if I just show you from a location point of view, you've got the new expressway from the airport. So 30 minutes from the airport, you're in Karen, and 20 minutes from Wilson Airport. And you're about 15 kilometers to the city center if you needed to go there. So great location. In terms of bedrooms, we've got 45 suites. In that is 2 presidentials. You've got the 24 deluxe downstairs, and then the 19 executive suites upstairs. And there you'll see they've got these beautiful elevated ceilings. Hemingways Nairobi Virtuosa. She's also belongs to small luxury hotels of the world, as well as fine hotels and resorts. So as I say, really, really beautiful property. She's on 10 acres of these magnificent rolling lawns. Each of these suites overlook the Ningon Hills. So it really is this just magnificent oasis. You've got swimming pool, spa area, great gymnasium, and then your public areas, you've got your restaurant downstairs. And what I love is you've got a lot of al fresco dining as well. So again, indoors, outdoors, those beautiful Kenyan balmy nights are glorious. And then upstairs, you've got this fantastic bar area with really special views up there. So that's just to give you a bit of a layout of the property. There is your executive suite, a beautiful size, 80 square meters. And you've got private balcony, both upstairs and downstairs. Out of this trunk, you've got your sliding television. So again, as I said, it's a really, really great size. So if I can just mention one thing on there, a lot of demand for twin rooms are coming in. At the moment, we've got 6 rooms that can convert into twin configuration. By July 2024, we'll have an additional 6. So in total, we'll have 12 beds that can convert to twin. Obviously, we'll do away with the 4-poster bed, but we'll have a few more twin-bedded rooms coming online next year. So on the left here, you can just see, gives you a feel of the presidential suite, and there's just a different view of your executive suite. So really beautiful size. And very much around that intuitive butler service, and they really are fantastic. They get to know you, what you like, what you don't like. What we are finding with Nairobi is there are a lot of people are moving to 2-night stays. I think there's so much to see in Nairobi. So 1-night stay is often really, really short, especially coming from the Americas. They love to kind of settle in and spend 2 nights. So it just lends itself well to that. And that just gives you a feel of these beautiful bathrooms, white marble bathrooms with walk-in closet. And that's to give you an idea of swimming pool. We've got a great spa as well there, as well as a really, really high-tech gymnasium. So that's all available in the property. We've just redone the Brasserie restaurant, so she's looking magnificent. Really popular dining option, even for guests who come from outside of the property. I mentioned the bar area upstairs with those beautiful views. And if you've got maybe small groups or guests who want to do a private wine pairing or a private wine tasting, we can do that in the wine cellar as well. So a lot of options at the hotel. In and around Nairobi, I'm sure you know, Nairobi's really, really up and coming. There's just a lot in terms of nightlife, in terms of restaurants, and then you've got the Shadrach Museum, you've got the Giraffe Sanctuary, as well as Karen Blixen Museum. So, and again, a lot of shopping in around Nairobi. So I think I've touched on possibly everything on Nairobi. I'm going to move over to Hemingways Eden. And I think for us, it's really important from a positioning point of view, especially when you sell this property to clients. And we've rebranded the Eden property to Hemingways Eden Residence. And it's really just to position it right up front. When you see the property, for those who haven't, very much this gorgeous living art gallery, and you'll see artifacts everywhere that you look. From a location point of view, also in the suburb of Karen. So again, very, very easily accessible. And you literally are on the back of the Giraffe Sanctuary. So from a location point of view, it's a magnificent sort of springboard if you want that Kenyan safari to start straight away. So you hear the sights and the sounds of that forest in the evening. We've got 9 keys in total, 3 are in the main house. I'm going to speak a little bit more about that main house. You've got 2 in the studio house, and then 3 in the loft. And we've also got the cottage. So the cottage comes with fabulous living area, beautiful lounge, fireplace, and your own kitchen as well. So what we've just introduced is long stay rates. So if somebody does want to stay in the cottage and just kind of have a home from home experience, this really lends itself well. In terms of the layout and the map of the estate, you've got the main house, the spa treatment room, studio, media room, and the cottage that I mentioned, and then you've got this glorious, glorious deck restaurant overlooking this sort of a mini lake or a fountain. If I go to the main house, you've got the master bedroom. and you can see a lot of art. So this is Anna's personal collection of all of her art, very bohemian, very eclectic, and that's why I think it's so important that we understand it. It's very, very different to what you're going to get from a Hemingway's Nairobi. So very warm textures that will come through, and you'll see in the architecture on the next slide there. So a lot of those rich tones coming through there. So this is the deck restaurant, just the most magnificent setting. You got fairy lights going all the way up the mountain on the other side. What we have done here is we've introduced some group lunch menus, especially for guests who want to do that giraffe sanctuary. They can come through, do a lunch there. We've got a great Eden concept store. So Anna sells a lot of her art, a lot of her clothing. So you kind of get this whole experience just right there and then. So it's a nice add-on for your guests as well, even if they're not staying there. I just wanted to mention before I forget, the minimum age at Eden is 8 years, and it's a lot to do around the art. If you are taking the main house exclusively, we'll obviously, relook at that. But I think it's just important that guests understand it's quite a different setting. But we have done away with the minimum age for lunches, so guests can still come through in small groups for lunches. The main house, you've got the 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then downstairs, this is really where you've got your tea coffee facilities. You've got this magnificent fireplace. You've got your lounge area, again, a dining room that spills out into a great big deck as well. So my recommendation would be, if you're going to take the exclusive house, if you're going to take the main house, try and take it exclusively. It's almost like booking a chalet. So it's just beautiful, and you'll see every single corner of this main house is just in beautiful artifacts. So you can spend days finding new little treasures there. And I think that's a little bit about Eden. So I'm going to move on to Hemingway's Watamu, last but not least. And a lot of guests who have done the big safari and they want to go enjoy the coastline. We've got Hemingway's Watamu there as well. Beautiful property, and really, I think it's important to understand that it's not a commercial sort of getaway. So Watamu, I would say that it's this very authentic Kenyan coastal village. So it's not a kind of property where you go and you're going to be sort of stuck in a resort. It's where you go to a place and you really want to get out. You'll grab a tuk-tuk and go down the road and go and visit different cafes, different shops. There's some fantastic restaurants that have come on board, and a lot of activity. So you'll see we right in Watamu Marine Park, and then adjacent you've got the Arabuko, forgive my pronunciation, but you've got the National Reserve there as well, where you do have elephant and some wonderful wildlife. It's one of the very, very few coastal forests that are still there, all the coastal reserves. In terms of location, you're 30 minutes from Malindi Airport. It's about an hour and a half north of Mombasa as well. So again, pretty easily accessible to get to Watamu. This was one of the first properties built in the Hemingways collection. So I think this was the first kind of sighting of the start of Hemingways. You've got, I want to start here with the hotel bedrooms. You've got 39 rooms, 26 are standard, 13 deluxe. And then on the apartment side, you've got 21 really, really modern, beautiful apartments, varying from 1, 2, and 4 bedroom. So some really great options there. And then if I touch base on just the layout, hotel rooms were initially built over here. You've got, later that came was a quiet pool, and then you've got the main pool over here. And then all your apartments later on were built there. Every single room overlooks the ocean, which I think is fantastic. And your Getty Pizzeria is a second restaurant that we've literally just redone. I don't have visuals of her yet, but just done this whole sort of Swahili tapas that have come into it. So again, a lot of positive changes. For those who sell the coast, and I think it's important just to touch base on when to go to the coastline in Kenya. So obviously June, July, August has by default become a peak season because of the migration. But if you look at the absolute best time to sort of Kenya, to visit Kenya, you're looking at that October to April. June, July, August on the coastline, you are going to see that seaweed coming through. So I think it's just pertinent we're aware of that. You've got the trade winds that do come through, and that sadly is just unpredictable, and it's affected a lot of the Indian Ocean islands as well. So it's not just Kenya, but just to forewarn you that if you do have guests coming around that June, July, August, you might see a little bit of different weather, but January to April is just absolutely exquisite time to visit. And that's just to give you an idea of some of the bedrooms. Magnificent size apartments. As I say, it really, really is fabulous, new and modern. And that's just to give you a feel of the apartments and the lookouts and the balconies. You've got a lot of wraparound balconies as well. And there you can just get some more visuals. We've just redone the restaurant. So both restaurants actually, but this is obviously the main restaurant. We've just redone that property. From a pricing point of view, we get a lot of requests for both bed and breakfast, for half board, for full board. So what we do now is we move in our 2024 rates to a standard B&B rate, and then very easily plug in a supplement for a half board or a full board. We've also just reviewed our seasonality in our months, as well as our rates for 2024. So I think in the next day or two, as I mentioned, you'll see that there will be some really nice new fresh offerings coming through for Watamu that are pretty favorable in terms of rates. So I just wanted to touch on that. Just from a F&B delivery, I mean, they've just got the most magnificent braais, a lot of dining outdoors as well, under the stars on the pool deck. I'll Getty, as I mentioned, I'll get some new pics of her pretty soon. And activities in Watamu are endless. So we've actually just redone our activity brochure, because it just kind of goes on and on. But you've got fantastic big game fishing. You've got the dhow cruise. You've got your water skiing, your wakeboarding, your stand-up paddle boards in Meader Creek. So there's just, as I say, it's a hive of activity. If you've got families who are looking for that sort of adventure holiday, this is definitely one of the places to be. And that's just to give you a feel of your lookout point from your restaurant. Really is just the most beautiful setting. And I think that's in a really, really quick nutshell from me. I think there's so much to touch on, but I hope we can, if there's anything I haven't covered. What I did want to say is, as we start updating trade more regularly, if you would like to be on our database, please feel free to touch base with me at any time. And I'm sure many of you know Lucinda, very much fondly known as Lou in the UK. So she's in the UK, I'm here in South Africa. And obviously up and down to Kenya all the time. But if there's anything you need, please feel free to reach out. But Chris, over to you for maybe a Q&A. So thank you, everybody.
Excellent, Belinda. Wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. And certainly looking forward to being at Hemingways Nairobi in October as you host our seminar that we're doing on the 12th of October there. So very much looking forward to that. So we do have the opportunity for Q&A now. So there have been some questions come through. If you can pop those into the Q&A box rather than the chat box, it just allows us to track them, run through them, and make sure we don't actually miss anything. So just pop those into the Q&A box rather than the chat box. So kicking off, we've got a question from Helen saying, is walking allowed at Ol Seki?
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. A great question. So at the moment, we do the guided walking tours. From 2024, our rates will actually be inclusive of the guided walking tours, but we do arrange them, yes.
Excellent. So Catherine's asking, do you do FIT lunches or only for groups?
No, FIT as well. Very much so, for sure.
Okay. So Lisa's asking, with the Eden Residence, can guests walk from the main house to the giraffe centre through the forest as they used to, or is that no longer an option?
It's no longer an option, so they would need to go around, yeah.
Okay.
We'd love it to be. We could literally feed them, but no, you'd have to go around now.
Okay. So Tamsin's asking, what is the best flight route from the Masai Mara, best airline? I think this might be from the Masai Mara down to Watamu. Tamsin, if you can just clarify that, that would be great. In the meantime, I'm actually just going to jump on to the next question, which is from Gina.
If I can maybe just answer that, though, you would have to take Safari Link back to Nairobi and Nairobi down to Watamu.
Okay. Also Safari Link?
The Safari Link, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jumbo. My apologies. Nairobi to Watamu will be on Jumbo.
Jumbo Jet.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Gina's asked, are activities included at Watamu, or are they an additional cost?
It would be largely an additional cost. Sorry, I don't know if Ross is online, but I think we are long-term looking to bring in more non-motorized activities included in the package. So if you can give us a little bit of time just to clarify that, but it is definitely something on the cards. And looking at doing more offerings into market as well, just to kind of include the Dow cruise on certain nights of the week. But it's work in progress. So yeah.
Okay, I can see Ross is online and he has raised his hand.
Thank you.
Ross, do you want to join us live? If you do, just let us know in the chat and I can allow you in. Okay, so a couple more questions have come through. Farah's asking, can you charter with Governor's Aviation from the Mara down to Malindi?
I want to say yes, but may I check on that, please? I'd need to
Sure.
check. Ross might be able to answer that. Sorry. There he's in.
Okay, Ross, you should be able to join us live.
Yeah, hi, thank you. Sorry, I'm not sure how to turn the video on. Yeah, just a couple of these questions. So, yes, definitely looking to add some more activities, non-motorized, as Belinda mentions, in Watamu. On the subject of access from the Mara to Malindi, charters are available. I think governors do offer that, amongst others like Boscovich, etc. There's also Mombasa Air. That's a minimum 4-pax charter. But we would recommend, if it's not a charter option, Safari Link would be the best connection. You land back in Nairobi at about 12 o'clock, and you connect to Malindi at sort of 1:30, 2 p.m. And Safari Link can handle that transfer quite well.
Excellent, thank you, Ross. Okay, question from Philip here. Can one do private charters as well as coming in and out? And what are the options for lodge hoppers?
Ross, do you want to answer that? I would say yes.
Charters in and out of the Mara? Was that the question?
Yes.
Charters are permitted to land in Aboshe, so that's certainly possible.
Excellent. Well, I think that is it for the questions. So Belinda, thank you for a fantastic presentation. Ross, thank you for being put on the spot and joining us unprepared. So thank you very much for that. I look forward to catching you in Nairobi next month. So to everyone that has joined us online, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day. To everyone who's watching the recording, thank you as well. Please do keep an eye out for upcoming webinars. And for, as I say, anyone who's going to be in Nairobi on the 12th of October, we do have our seminar, which will be held in the afternoon at Hemingways Nairobi, followed by an evening networking event at Matt Bronze. So we look forward to seeing you if you are available. So Belinda, thank you very much. And to all our audience, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Have a great day.